Shares of Wynn Resorts down more than 10% since the start of the month, despite settling a long-standing feud with its now largest shareholder, Elaine Wynn, adding a veteran gaming executive as a vice chairman to the board, and finally adding the CEO to the board, and now wrapping up its own investigation. The Massachusetts Gaming Commission is watching all of these moves as it reevaluates Wynn's gaming license.
That has always been a critical priority for us as we assess what we're going to do in response. We've always said that the investigation of the board, by the board I mean, and how senior management and the board deals with this is a very high priority to us.
Howard Stutz has covered Wynn Resorts for years in Las Vegas. He's now the executive editor of CDC Gaming Reports. Good to see you today, Howard. What do these moves say to you about the future for Wynn Resorts?
Well, the bunch of moves they did this week, Wynn is sending a message to the investment community and more importantly to the regulators that they've put a cover on this fire that has brewed over this company since February, since Steve Wynn's ouster. And the big event this week, there were two really, was the bringing on of Phil Satre as vice chairman. He'll eventually become chairman of the board after the first of the year. Phil is a well-respected gaming executive, spent 25 years as CEO with Harrah's, spent the last 10 years or so as the chairman of IGT. He adds credibility to the company. He's very well-respected. And then at the same time, they've got this lockdown agreement with Elaine Wynn where she will, she's basically going to be a silent partner in a sense for the next through 2020. She will vote her 10% or so shares of the company along with what the board wants to do. She's not going to try to make changes. She's not going to disrupt things. And actually, Phil Satre was the person she really wanted onto the board.
Yeah.
And the board has really changed. It's 6 new members since April.
And yet the stock's not reacting to this sort of security moves that are happening with the company. And it's not the only casino, by the way. I'm looking at MGM now off 8% month to date. Caesars is off 13% month to date. The CEOs of all three companies had guidance for the third quarter that blamed the lack of scheduled events in Las Vegas. Now, they're up against comps last year with a big fight, hard to compete with that. But what's going on in Las Vegas? Is there a real problem?
No, and you mentioned the big fight. A year ago, what we were all talking about was Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. Huge fight that had worldwide attention, brought tons of people to town. We're not seeing that this summer in Las Vegas. And Las Vegas summer months are always been a challenge. It's hot.
It is a dry heat, though.
Huh?
It's a dry heat.
Yeah, people are thinking about vacations. They're not thinking about business meetings and conventions. And so what it does is it's always been a challenge. And this year especially, there wasn't a lot of big events. Now moving forward, we'll see, year in and year out, there's always big events. So maybe what they've done is lowered expectations for the third quarter numbers. So when we see those numbers in October, November, everybody will be pleasantly surprised. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see. Quickly before we let you go here, Howard, this morning, Buffalo Wild Wings said that they're looking to allow their customers to make sports bets while they dine and drink. I mean, they're going to have to get approval from various states, and they're going to pair up with a gaming company. But this yet again dilutes the gaming power and allure of Las Vegas, which has been the mecca for so long. Isn't this another brick that they're going to have to add to the worry wall there?
Not really. And I'll tell you, the short answer is no, but I'll tell you why, is that in all these states where sports betting has started, Mississippi, New Jersey, and Delaware, the big companies, MGM, Caesars, William Hill US, are all operating those sports books. And at the same time, in Las Vegas, the big events, March Madness, the Super Bowl, people plan to come out here for those type of events.
They do because they can't otherwise bet elsewhere, which is going to happen down the road, don't you think?
Not really, because it's more than just sports betting in Las Vegas. People come out here for the 4 days of March Madness, go to shows, eat out, do all the different things. We had the same thing happen when California legalized Indian gaming and riverboat casinos started popping up everywhere. And all it did was it really just enhanced Las Vegas. I mean, Las Vegas still attracts 42 million people a year. So we'll see that. And again, sports betting is not a big revenue driver for these casinos. It's an amenity.